Hi, welcome back to another episode of Chef Loseto Cooks at Home. So today we are going to do a very special lasagna dish. It has been handed down generation to generation. This particular recipe and this particular dish I do from time to time as a special at the Berry Club, and it sells out right away. I take the opportunity to run it as a lunch special at George as well. What we're going to focus on today, so the video is not an hour long, is the pasta itself. Turn it over on the bench, and we want to do the traditional well in the center. And then the yolks, you don't have to whisk them really, but I like to. And then we're going to put them inside the well. Just going to start mixing the flour a little bit. That's my cat, and he likes more attention than I've been giving him. Okay, so we have our egg in it. At this point, it does not look like you have enough liquid. Don't do anything. Just follow the recipe. It doesn't look like it's going to come together, but there's still a lot of moisture. Right, and now I'm going to start using my hands. Okay, so we've done it for about 3 minutes now, and we do need a little more water. So that was about a tablespoon of water. So once you add the tablespoon of water, you want to have a little bit of patience and work it in before you add any more. This will build up your muscles while we're at it. Okay, so I can see from here we're going to need a little bit more water. So I added a little bit more water. It's not necessarily for the stuff that's on the board. It's just I can feel from the dough that the dough is not coming together. After it's mixed, so at this point, you want to knead it for about 5 minutes, right? And to knead it, you do exactly what I'm doing, which is use the palm of your hand, right? You turn it, you take the outside of it, you bring it towards you, and you push with the palm right in the center, and you keep turning it either clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay, so after 5 minutes of kneading, or until your arm falls off, if it's before 5 minutes, you're done. So now what you want to do is you want to rest it for about half an hour. When we roll it, we want to get it to as thin as this machine brings it. So this machine is just a standard pasta roller. You can find it at any supermarket. So we have the dough covered. Okay, so we have a tray. You can either put parchment and flour, or just a little bit of flour. So what I would recommend is maybe blanching it the day before, putting it in between parchment and a little olive oil, and then after it's in parchment and olive oil, the next day you can just sort of assemble it with the hot sauce. And we're just going to get a small piece. It's very important that you go to the thickest setting, right? And depending on the machine, usually the thickest setting is 10. So you just want to work it a little bit, and I mean, it doesn't really matter too much what the shape is, as long as it's not too thick, and you want to just roll it through. Another thing that's very important is that the machine is very secure and clamped on. Make sure that you put it somewhere where the clamp is not going to go through your tabletop. Roll it once, which we have, and then you fold it. This allows you to shape the pasta to get even sheets, and it also strengthens the dough a little bit. And then you put it opposite side in, so like that. If you want to be 100% correct, you can just cut it a little bit, but it really doesn't matter. And then what I would like to do is go up in 2 increments. So now we're going to go to the last setting, and this is where we're going to leave it. Right, so we want just a little bit of flour. If you have one of the pasta stands, there's special pasta stands you can buy. You can sort of drape it over, and it's sort of like, you can sort of hang the pasta while you're waiting for blanching. That'd be perfect actually. But if you don't, like me, we're just gonna lay it on the tray. So we're just gonna cut that in half, right? And again, you don't want to have too much on this board so it gets dry. If this pasta gets dry, it's gonna crack. Now the pasta itself, the recipe, it's a nice firm pasta, but it doesn't get dry fast. So that's actually ideal for ravioli and for lasagnas and stuff. So then you want to just lay it down here. Okay, a little bit of flour. Now it doesn't matter if it gets dry, because now at this point we're going to blanch. So when we're blanching, it is very important that the water is salted. It's also very important that you don't overcook it. So what you want to do is just drop it in the boiling water, depending on your confidence. 2 to 4 sheets, 2 if you're not that confident, 4 if you are. And you need to just make sure the water boils and then take it out. I would say not even 30 seconds. Put it in olive oil, either put it in a bowl or on a tray. And then while it's sort of still warm, you want to separate it a little bit. If you find you're having difficulty, you cut the pasta shorter. Keep it as al dente as possible, and then from there, you'll have a perfect lasagna. So you can assemble it into a larger casserole. What we're going to do is we're going to individually portion it. There's 4 of us today. We needed to cut the pasta round so it'll be easier to assemble. After we blanched it and it was in sheets, I just took it and I just cut them around with a little cutter. We're going to start with the butter. So we're going to put 1 small cube. Then we're going to put 1 spoon of tomato sauce. Now the tomato sauce, you want just enough to not let it stick or burn. You want to coat the sort of a little bit more than coating the bottom of the pan. So if you have a larger casserole, same idea. You want to coat the pan, maybe just a little bit more. Then we're going to add pasta. So we want to add multi-layers. So not just 1 sheet and then everything else. You're going to put at least 2 to 3 sheets. Okay, so now once you add the first layer, you want to add your salt. Then you want to add your pepper. You're going to add your bolognese. Put a thin layer, right? And on the bottom, right, we're going to put the preserved lemon mascarpone. 3 mid-size to large dollops of them. Alright, so then we're going to put some parm. 2 or 3 more layers of pasta. The thing is, sometimes when you're making the lasagna, you want to make sure you have enough at the top. So you never want to run a pasta before you do the top part, because if you do that, then you're in trouble. Then there's no helping. So again, so you repeat the process now. Salt, pepper, okay, bolognese sauce, parm first, and then we're going to add the mozzarella. So the thing is not to add too much of it. There's no mozzarella on the bottom, so you can add like a nice layer. If there was mozzarella on the bottom, you would add a little less than this. So essentially, that's all of it, and now you just do the top. So the top, right, again, 2-3 layers. All the layers are equal. I mean, if you have space on the top, then you can always add a few extra pieces, it's fine. Like that, okay, so we're gonna add a little bit more salt. All right, and then you're gonna take a little bit of the plain tomato sauce. And you just wanna rub it on top a little bit. When it bakes, it'll get a nice crust, and it'll give you that those crispy parts. And then this is debatable as well. You want to add a little bit of cheese. I like the cheese on there. Again, it'll give you that crispy bit. And then just a little bit more butter on top. This is it. Very important. When you go to bake these, you want to bake them on a tray because they're going to overflow a little bit, and then you can just clean around. Okay, so we have the finished product. I had 2 in the oven while we were demoing. So when they come out, let them cool a little bit. Let it sit for 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes, depending on how big it is, just so it settles a little bit and it's not watery. Right, you're gonna put a little bit of cheese. Right, then you can put on the lids, and then you have lasagna, fatta casa, ready to go. People are gonna love it. Good luck. Let me know if it turns out.